Why, hello, boys and girls, and welcome back to our distance learning. This is my stuffed animal friend, Teal. Teal is going to be a buddy as we are working on our Class Read Aloud, James the Giant Peach. What I'd like you guys to do is also find a stuffed animal friend. Just in case your parents are working or your siblings working, I want you to have somebody that you can practice answering questions to as we go through our chapter 19. So pause my video just for a minute and go find yourself a stuffed animal friend. So you're back. You have found yourself a stuffed animal friend. Hopefully they're just as cute as my little Teal. Now, this is actually Caitlin's. We're going to look at chapter 19 of James and Giant Peach. Now, I realized before we left for break, we actually made to chapter 22. But by the end of chapter 23, we're supposed to be taking a little quiz to make sure we understand what's going on. Because you've been off for 2 weeks, I want us to give us that time to review what's happened so far. So again, I want you to stop and think or talk to your animal friend about what has happened so far. So pause my video again and talk to your animal friend about what you remember about James and Giant Peach. And welcome back. So hopefully you did as I asked and didn't just skip it through. I bet some of y'all did. We're going to actually start back at chapter 19. So I'm going to put Teal to the side and go back to my story. So chapter 19. In case you have forgotten, James and Giant Peach. James was living with his aunts, his mean old nasty Aunt Sponge and Aunt Spiker. And they were very mean and they weren't very kind to James. They made him work and they pretty much locked him in his room until these magic green wiggly little things appeared from an old man to make James less miserable because James was miserable. And these green wiggly things were supposed to make James happy. Unfortunately, he dropped them while running back to the house because he was being called on by his Aunt Sponge and Aunt Spiker. Well, while he was running, he dropped those little green wiggly things and they fell into the old peach tree. And the peach tree started to grow a peach. Now, not a normal peach, but a magical peach that grew so big that they could literally stand on top of it. And by they, I mean when James discovered the giant peach, if you remember, he went through a little tunnel that was in the bottom of the peach, and in the pit of the stone, they called it, the pit of the peach, he found some insect friends. He found old green grasshopper, centipede, earthworm, Miss Ladybug, and Miss Spider. And there's also glowworm. So these are all his new little friends who are helping him on his adventure. The centipede cut the peach loose from the tree, and it rolled and rolled and rolled and tumbled everything along its path until it flew off the cliff and landed into the ocean. And this is where we left off. The animal friends and James were starving, and they realized they're on a peach. They have all the food they could possibly eat. Which now brings us to chapter 19. "Look!" cried Centipede, just as they were finishing their meal. "Look at that funny, thin, black thing gliding through the water over there." They all swung around to look. "There are 2 of them!" cried Miss Spider. "There are lots of them!" cried Miss Ladybug. "What are they?" asked Earthworm, getting worried. "They're some kind of fish," said old green grasshopper. "Perhaps they've come along to say hello." "They are sharks!" cried the earthworm. "I bet you anything you like that they are sharks, and they have come along to eat us up." "That's absolute rot," said the centipede. But his voice seemed suddenly to have become a little shaky, and he wasn't laughing. "I am positive they are sharks," said the earthworm. "I just know they are sharks." And so, in actual fact, did everybody else. But they were too frightened to admit it. There's a short silence. They all peered down anxiously at the sharks who were cruising slowly around and around the peach. "Just assuming they are sharks," the centipede said, "there still can't possibly be any danger if we are up here." But as he spoke, one of those thin black fins suddenly changed direction and came cutting swiftly through the water right up to the side of the peach itself. The shark paused and stared up at the company with small, evil eyes. "Go away!" they shouted. "Go away, you filthy beast!" Slowly, almost lazily. The shark opened his mouth, which was big enough to have swallowed an ambulance, and made a lunge at the peach. They all watched, aghast, and now, as it was signaled from the leader, all the other sharks came swimming in towards the peach, and they clustered around and began to attack it ferociously. There must have been 20 or 30 of them at least, all pushing and fighting and lashing their tails and turning the water into a froth. Panic and pandemonium broke out immediately on top of that peach. "Oh, we are finished now," cried Miss Spider, wringing her feet. "They will eat up the whole peach, and there will be nothing left for us to stand on, and they'll stir on us." "She's right," shouted the spider. "We are lost forever." "Oh, I don't want to be eaten," wailed the earthworm. And here's a picture. Oops. So it shows James and all the insect friends on top, the giant magical peach. And down here you see the fins of those crazy, ferocious sharks. "But they will take me first of all because I'm fat and juicy and I have no bones," said the earthworm. "Is there nothing we can do?" asked the ladybug, appearing to James. "Surely you can think of a way out of this." Suddenly they all were looking at James. "Think!" begged Miss Spider. "Think, James, think!" "Come on," said the centipede. "Come on, James. There must be something we can do." Their eyes waited upon him, tense, anxious, pathetically hopeful. So that is the end of chapter 19. I would like you to stop the video, and on the bottom or on the PowerPoint slide, you should find a few questions. Those questions are simply review about what we have read so far. Again, you can talk to your parent, your sibling, or your cute, adorable stuffed animal friend.